live here in Las Vegas with AZD, top player on the planet, right? And really hacked the code of the DNA. It was demonstrated last night at the club because these girls don't even speak English, really. They're like Cuban or something, and they're really fun, really pretty fun, like models, you know? And through light translator, just a little bit here, a little bit there, sitting back, vibes, you know, you can communicate so much with touch. If you put the back of your hand on somebody and hold it there, it might be awkward if you hold it there, but put it on their lap. If it's a girl and it's sitting next to you, just put your hand on their lap or something. Palm face up, just back of the hand. And keep it there. There's something communicating. You could be talking to her, you could be talking out to the environment, you could be sitting there and relaxing. Something is being communicated through the touch. You may not be aware of what you're communicating because you're so used to your own communication, salute so. So you don't have many references outside of yourself. But as you study game, as you go out with other guys or whatever, or just you, if you try that move or something multiple times with multiple different people, you'll see that your vibe changes day to day, hour to hour. You're not always communicating the same thing. And you start to get a grip, you get a hold, a tangible hold on this thing called tactile communication or kinesthetic communication or just kino or touch, you know? And that's a part of communicating. The touch, the tonality, the words, the facial expressions, the body language, and so many things, the context really. That's why it's so vital to be around guys, your friends, guys that actually respect you and treat you right, and you treat them right with respect, instead of the rest of the world, all the guys are trying to punk each other. All the guys are trying to get one up on each other, especially if there's any beautiful women in the environment, because they're actually trying to get at those women. It's one of the things that AZD has hacked, is the genetic code of behavior. You can read the evolutionary psychology books on when she scratches her hair, or when she's ovulating she acts like this, or there's a lot of great data in there. But see it happening as it's happening. AZD catches it as it's happening. Bro, you can't have multiple relationships all hanging out together. Sometimes you'll have 4 or 5 girls that are his girlfriends. It's not an orgy. It's not that. It's not sexual like that. He has more or less monogamous relationships with each woman, or at least the woman is monogamous. And then sometimes they're all hanging out because there's a friendship actually happening. And you can go back to AZD's YouTube video blogs from 10 or 12 or more years ago, and he's having lots of beautiful women hanging out at his house, laughing, drinking wine, maybe watching a film or something. He'll be talking in the video. Like, he's been hanging around multiple beautiful women for a long while. Even though he grew up as a dork, a nerd, an outcast, an immigrant from Persia, didn't even speak English for the first year that he was here, got beat up a lot. That's why he got into martial arts. That's why he looks the way he looks now. You get beat up and picked on and bullied all your life, and but then you learn to express yourself authentically, you might look something like AZD also. So the DNA, you can't have multiple women around you the way that he does, the high value women, not just like fat, nasty, hairy, pit, smelly women. Even there, to have it work, whatever it is, you still need to be able to see and perceive the genetic code, the genetic behavior, or the subconscious behavior. The thing about the subconscious is that you can learn something over and over and over and over and over again, and it becomes subconscious. That's different than the genetic consciousness. The DNA, it's part of the subconscious, but men and women will behave in certain ways that has nothing to do with how you were trained. So, for example, a woman with big tits walks by. A guy doesn't have to be culturally conditioned to turn and look at big tits. He's attracted to big tits. Versus, let's say, a girl is walking by in heels. Now, the DNA of the man may look, because that's a noise in the environment, that's like, what is that? But the subconscious of the man knows through years of experience that a woman in heels making that sound represents a woman in heels, and a woman in heels is attractive to look at. It looks like her legs are longer, it makes her thighs and butt look good. She might even be wearing something that, the kinds of women that wear heels might be wearing. She might be sexy. So subconsciously, he wants to look. Genetically, he may look for the danger element of it, that you hear that sound of heels walking, you don't know what that is, an animal doesn't know what that is. But so there's a subconscious that's been patterned, and then there's the DNA that's like, the DNA has no idea what heels sound like. The DNA definitely knows titties, Liam, had a date last night, couldn't get the conversation to flow, felt like we were trapped in our heads for a bit till we relaxed about an hour in, felt myself wanting to keep the conversation going. Yeah, I mean, that happens. You know, it has a lot to do with how you picked up the girl and how comfortable you are. And, you know, there's so much I can teach you of what I know, but you'll get a lot of it when you're here in person. And, you know, Sultan is your point man for that, you know. So those are going to be questions and dialogues to bring up with him. But definitely, it's the same thing with guys. So I'll be selling a guy on IMC products. And you guys should know I sell IMC products. You should be signing up. Liam's coming. You'll be here. Sosa, actually, you'll be living here. Sosa's moving here from New Jersey. Liam is visiting here for 2 weeks from England. So you guys will be here at the same time, actually. That'll be cool. But I'll tell you this. So interacting with men, selling them on IMC products and whatever, sometimes it stagnates and it's like, I can tell there's a resistance. Like, why do they stop communicating? Why are they one-word responses? Why is their responses, maybe it's coming across tense or shadowy, like they're hiding something or whatever. They can tell that I'm looking to sell them on something. Okay, my bad, I have conveyed too much interest in selling you on something. Like you may have conveyed too much interest, sex, sexually, or something like that. However, how do you break through that? Call it out. Bro, why are you getting short on responses? Bro, what's going on? Or did you lose interest in this? So the girl, it's like, why are you clammed up? Why are you not communicating? This is again a reason why we date around other men. I go on first dates with my guys. Because the woman is manipulating you when you're one-on-one. She's manipulating you when you're in your group too. The thing about it is that you will not allow yourself to be manipulated very much around your friends, or you'll lose your friends. Because if your friends start seeing you be extra super beta, I say that because most friend circles out there are already very beta. But if your friends start seeing you act out of character, compromising yourself, you'll lose your friends. They'll tease you. You don't want the bad reputation with your friends. So you'll isolate the girl away from your friends so that you can act super beta with her and proclaim your love. And it's just me and you and talk sappy and whatever, you know. And so the girl is doing that to you when you're alone with her. She's pulling you into her world. It could also be, hey, did you have a fucked up day? What's going on? Why are you slow? Why are you slowed up? You know, trying to avoid the elephant in the room just makes the elephant louder. It makes the little girl in her that's crying for attention want it more. You know? And then she'll start acting up in other ways. So, that's what I have to say about that. Yeah, I know there's a lot of echo. Too much echo to hear me? My bad. Surrounding sounds are drowning you out. My bad, bro. I mean, it's what it is. AZD, I'll try to speak slower and more clearly, and hopefully it gets through. I'm not hearing those comments on TikTok or Instagram, so maybe it has something to do with the microphone on the tablet. Hopefully later, I can carve out some time to stream from my house, where the sounds are better. Right now, I like doing the stream before class, because guys, there's a 10 a.m. daily class every day with AZD. You have a good message, and I want to hear it. Appreciate it, bro. You know, I have a playlist of all kinds of live streams I've given here, so maybe you can check those out. I've also put out some other videos recently. So I put out a video about the messengers recently, so hopefully you're looking to do that, because that is, everybody, Sosa was interested in selling AZD IMC. You can't even come close to selling AZD IMC until you take messengers. You may talk a friend or two into doing it, but it might burn that bridge because you probably didn't explain it well, what's going on. Until you take messengers, you don't have a solid anchor in what is happening here. Like, Liam, you need to do a messenger. You're like, bro, I just paid like $15,000 to come do residency. That's great. Your residency is essential too. I mean, it's all essential. I've invested over $100,000 to learn from AZD and more. It just keeps climbing. And I'm always paying for stuff. So, and that's not including the indirect costs of just funding these guys that don't have enough money when we go out and I pay a lecture or whatever. Like, that's part of the training too. That's part of my post. If I didn't do that, AZD would be like, why are you accumulating the money that I'm giving you for selling and then not reinvesting it? It's just because other guys don't have enough money? Maybe I should cut your commission so that you're in the same position or whatever. Like, that's just the ethics of it. We don't hold on to money. I reinvest the money in the experiences, and if I have a little bit more, then maybe I get a double position, a little bit better status, or maybe access to a few extra things like the car ride with AZD that other guys can afford. But all my money goes right back into it. I'm not like stacking money. No matter how good my sales go, no Not yet, anyway. And so that's what it is. You'll need the messengers tech. The messengers is what you're getting with coming for residency is one of the 6 pillars. I've put out my video of the 6 pillars, you know, and proprietary claim, guys, you know, I have whatever character flaws that you may recognize that I may or may not recognize that inhibits you from really buying into what I'm saying, okay? But compared to everybody else here, except AZD, that's trying to get the message out about IMC, I do know much more. It's refined, so you may not see that or perceive that in the beginning, but like Sosa was working with another minister here, ended up dropping out. Sosa started working with me, ends up moving to Vegas, getting a job, doing residency. Let me let this guy in. This guy is visiting Eddie. Okay guys, I just have like 5 minutes. Eddie is visiting here from Mexico City. He's here for 2 or 3 days, and so I'll be letting him in. So, I put out this video that in my analysis is 6 pillars of AZD's teachings. And I ran it by him, and he suggested possibly a 7, or I might call it like 6.5, or I might even add it as a subcategory. But one of those pillars is game. And in the game category is all the evolutionary psychology books, all the pickup arts, all the language patterns, and you know, Ross Jeffries, Vince Kelly, whatever, seduction patterns, art of seduction, all of that philosophy that goes with game. But then the unsung hero that, you know, everybody needs to do is infield. Go infield. You gotta go infield as part of the game. And at the highest levels is infield with AZD. So that's really what Liam is coming here for residency for, is that whole game pillar. Then there'll be other pillars that you'll get, you know, for example, the beast process. Listen to it before the date, the episode with 6 pillars. Yeah, it's very short, it's like a 5-minute video. And, oh, you listened to it, right on. So, you'll also get a little bit of the beast process, but again, you may not have the beast process. You've gone through the Telegram group, Liam, but I recommend getting my Phase 1 bundle. Even Sosa got the Phase 1 bundle. Sosa, how much of an effect did that have on you? Remember, you came here, AZD said, get that guy around me. He can't move to Vegas, or he can move to Vegas, he's an adult, but he can't live in an IMC base. And then you did some changes, and I think it had to do with the beast process, and within 3 days, 4 days, AZD was like, okay, that guy can move into base 2. And he didn't even know that you were doing the beast process. True or false? Is this true or false? And if it's not 100% true, then it's false. So go ahead and say it's not 100% true, or it's not entirely accurate, or it's just false. Because I'm saying that to people and I don't want to be inaccurate. So, guys, I'll just do a quick pitch. We have daily class every day, 10 a.m. on Zoom with AZD. It's men only. The camera has to be on so that AZD knows there's no women or children in the background. It's $97 a month, 30 lectures a day. You get all the recordings once you've signed up. The link is in the bio, in the description, whatnot. Sosa, I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but go ahead and comment if you have anything to say. Oh, Sosa left. Okay. All right. Well, that's basically what happened. His character was so flimsy and watery and weak, and it was like, bro, he was struggling in the living room. And I came down and I was like, you got to do the beast process. You're not doing the beast process. You got to watch these lectures. He had already bought it. He just wasn't doing it. You got to. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're ill. You got to do at least 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. You got to activate. You got to read the Stoicism. You got to do what's in the lectures. Study the lectures within 3-4 days. Oh, and Isaac just got the Phase 1 process. Isaac, did you watch the first lecture? Okay? And then you get the routine, and then you start doing all the imagination exercises. It's 45 lectures, AZD giving his process, very tangible, physical process. Now we're in the advanced camp called the process, which is the evolution of that process. But if you just try to do his process camp right now, it's going to be very heady. You'll get a lot from it because his mindset is top-notch, and his ability to explain it is top-notch. But with one of these 6 pillars is the beast process. So you need that bundle. That bundle is, and so it's like, okay, $1,500 here, $15,000 to do residency, okay, $5,000 to do messengers. Bro, it's too much, bro. It saves your life. It will save your life. You will be in the matrix, plugged into the feminism, the communism, the social peer pressure, and all the manipulation of mother and father and everything without IMC training. It's good luck. Good fucking luck. Without this process, without the messengers, without games, you'll lose yourself and you'll never find yourself, man. The closest you can get is spirituality, but all the spiritual people I've met are not that. They're not unplugged in that way. They're unplugged in certain ways, but they're not unplugged on the male-female code. Their chain is still sold, their soul is still chained by that. And you're not going to avoid it by just running away from it. You got to go into it and master game. To master game, you got to have a process. You got to have creativity, like Manu's processes. You got to have understanding of spirituality. That's the chosen tech. You got to have understanding of language that you won't get anywhere else. You will not get the keys to the matrix studying any other subject except AZD's messengers. And ultimately, you got to move to Vegas. The best you can do is train some kind of MMA or some kind of fighting, but you'll need AZD's character development system of fighting called Panjo. And that's what you get if you move to Vegas. These 6 elements, I'm still learning, I'm still mastering them, becoming expert at them, getting better at them. 9 years of studying AZD, I'm at whatever level I'm at. So I'd like to get better also. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm reporting in about the evolution and giving you the breakdown of the teachings, etc., etc., etc. So I hope you guys, so then you got to get in class, Chungi. Chungi, if you want to get a girlfriend, you got to get in class. Because even if you get a girlfriend now, she's going to ruin your life. You have so many beta qualities in you. You don't know how to date. You don't know female psychology. And it takes a whole education because I went through 24 and a half years of education. I have a PhD, a master's, a bachelor's, a high school diploma. Nowhere in that 24 and a half years did I learn a goddamn thing about male-female relationships. You're not going to learn it anywhere outside of the game. You got to get in the game. And when it comes to learning game, who are you going to learn it from? Are you going to figure it out for yourself? Good luck. It'll take you lifetimes. Because you're in the matrix and you have all kinds of miseducation about it. So you're going to get a teacher? Okay, who's your teacher? Who are you going to learn from? Top guy in the world or somebody else? Second place is a distant second. Top guy in the world is AZD. So the link is in the description or the bio. Sign up for daily class. Guys on TikTok or Instagram, DM me if you have questions. Oaths, be the best, fuck the rest. I'll see you in class. Jay Guru Dev. See you in class, Albert.